Peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people that struggle. Salute, salute, salute. As you come on in, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space of learning and getting learned up. This is a space of educating and being educated. This is the space for questions and answers, comments, concerns, conversation, dialogue. This is a space of intelligence, your space of love, a space where we seek the path towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, they should be here. Please put all contact information in the chat for the duration of class. Please put all funding information in the chat. Funding links, tag names, and all that in the chat for the duration of class. Fund this war effort. As you see, it's a little chilly, so I had to put on the hat and the flannel. Fund this war effort. It's cold in the war. Yes. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, if you believe, if you think, if you got a notion, book an assessment. Find out for sure. If you are already up under here, get your sessions and book your session now. It's cold outside. Who are you holding? If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in need of intimate partner or intimate relationship advice, consultation, going through intimate relation abuse, please book an assessment. Find out what you need to be alerted to. The alarms, right? Things you need to be aware of, the behaviors, certain patterns. Book an assessment. Remember the information, what you know, the things that you know, because the life you save could be your own. Do you understand? Salute, salute, salute. Ramadan Mubarak to all who are deep into the deen and halfway through. Okay? Peace and power. Who should we tag? Man, listen. Like I said, it's a little chilly, a little nip pow. I still got work to do. I got to get out there. Need me a new hat or something. Listen up. Who we tagging, man? Because we got to tag some people to get them right. We definitely got to tag Beyonce. Tag her, y'all. Tag her. Get her in class. Oh, yeah. Get her in class. Tag her. Tag the horse. Yeah, tag the horse she on. Brr, tag him. Tell him to bring his ass to class. Don't worry about it. We won't make no glue out of him. Tag him. Somebody, anybody. Let's tag these grown-ass hip-hop men. Tag Dr. Dre. Tag the Snoop D-O-double-G. Tag Eminem, and damn it, tag 50 Cent because he knew better, but he still did it. And please, I tried to be easy. I wanted to go in on this yesterday, But as you know, I have people that are very, very well established and in the mix and in the whip. So I don't want to prevent them from being all that they can be. Okay? Come on now. So I try to be easy, but enough is enough. Because again, in the research and I'm reading comments and I'm like, yo, it's not funny. All right? So tag them and tag Jimmy Kimmel. I wanted to go in on him long time ago. Long time ago. Okay? But I spared him. Why? Because this class, this is a, excuse me, this is a class that even though it's very diverse and we are of a specific intelligence, listen, I didn't believe that many of my class was really into who he is or know his history or been around him. So it kind of, because it was a different way I was introduced to Jimmy Kimmel. So I really try to pump my brakes on it, but he's been annoying me for quite some time now. Okay? But tag him. Not Guillermo, because Guillermo is Guillermo. But tag Jimmy, because we got to discuss it. And tag your classmates. Let's see who in here. Ooh, Nina smiles. Ooh, she be jumping in first quite often lately. Yeah, she must really like this class. TC, what's going on? William Extra, please. Please, William Extra. Please, I see you in the spotty spot. Thank you for coming. Who is M. Dot? What's going on? Tierra, we see you up in here. Mark Lewis, what's going on? Dustfro 517. Moo! What up, Moo? We see you. Baddies in the spot. See Blaze. What did you see, Blaze? Sniper. Construction Site Media TV, Peace and Power. You at work? Don't get fired, damn it. I'll tell you, I don't have it. I can't help with your cable. Nothing. Don't get fired. I'm telling you, turn your headphones down. All right? Bushhead, what's going on? Jean-Pierre, Lou, Rugi Hauser. I see you, Rugi. Freddie. Peace. I see you. GB, what's going on? Moo. 7-4. Why you retracted that? You get a 55 trying to act like the other Moo. 55. Yeah, we see you. M. Him. Hot. What's going on? Kim Williams, what's going on? Yeah, Eric Charles, 55. 55. Yeah. CR, Prophet Getters. What's going on? Peace, G's. Peace. How you? B Dolo, we see you. Raheem Allah. Peace. Yeah, we see you. Philip Boone. Yeah, we see you. Yes. Derek Thomas. 55 coming in here like you an all-pro linebacker. 55, Derek Thomas. Hold that. Peace, G. Yeah. Gilbert. I don't want to get it. We're going to do a class on Gilbert. I'm going to do a class on him shortly. Murder Gang, what it do? It is what it is. 55. Jean. Oh, the other Jean. Elaine, Kim Yo. Salute. 55. I don't care if you in Paris. 55, Jean. Yeah. Don Fuego. 55, Don Fuego. Earl Williams. 55. Don't be laughing. Ooh, y'all deep in here this afternoon. Be original. Peace. Salute. 55. Yeah. Oh, y'all deep. Piff Powers. 55. Hey, Ghoster. What it is? George Johnson, we see you. Lake Charles, we see you. Christopher Farmer's in the spot. Princess Williams, 55. Princess emerged. Yes, we see you up in. Little Boozy, 55. Yeah. Yeah. Drunk coming up in here. Yeah, we see you. Bernadette, what's going on? Oh, y'all think Stone is up in here. We see you. We see Rodney. Like Rodney Allen Rippy, 55. Rodney. Knee Buck, 55. I'm coming here with that 23, 50, 50, 55. Y'all deep up in here. Let's get the class started. Y'all coming in. It's too many of y'all. Fronting. Like y'all been here. Montreal, damn it. Wherever you at, Jean, you ain't getting here. 2-3 days in a row, Jean. 55. Correct, we're talking about Montreal. Y'all still speaking French. Yeah. Uh-oh. No faces up in the building. We see you. Buddha, what up? Yeah. Cleveland is in the spot. George Benton, 55. Mateen Cleves, 55. Mateen, take that for your 2 E's. Yeah. Playing with me. What we starting with, y'all? Is we starting with Beyonce? Do y'all want to start with Beyonce? I know y'all do. I know y'all do. Toledo's up in the house. I know y'all do. Let's get started with her. Because Jimmy is too easy. We gonna get in that. Let's start with it because people been quiet about it. They might be scared. They may think that their vid, whatever they do, whether it's a live or it's a piece of content that they edit to try to make it look professional and all this other weirdness, whatever it is, they have been silent on this. They silent, scared they ain't gonna get monetized. Yeah, they doing a whole lot of weirdness. Yeah. We don't care in class. We don't rely on this. We rely on truth so we can move ahead. And if we should be mistaken, we should be mistaken. William Extra, much appreciated, Will, for funding the war effort. Listen, however it's gonna be, it's gonna be. But we have to know. We have to do the research. We have to see what's with the symbols and the images. What is trying to be said? Is it being said to us or is it being said to those who run the whip? Grippergate. Okay? And we can't ignore the obvious. Why are people trying to ignore the obvious? That this woman was on a white horse. Huh? Now I know what everybody's thinking, especially in this class. Mr. William Cooper's book, right? That's what y'all thinking. However, me, I'm gonna keep it honest in all of the reading and all of the research. I was never that impressed by that book. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Things like that didn't move me. They don't move me. I deal with the practical. I deal with things that we can see, that we can attack. Practical. Now, is there truth? There was truth in it. Not gonna front. Some of the things, but everything in it wasn't 1,000. Okay? Especially if it didn't have the desired effect on us. So we're gonna have to keep it all the way alive. We've had some pieces right now in 2024 that can dispel a lot of it. However, we're going to deal with it in this manner, right? Because a lot of people get shook. A lot of people still talking about the lights and, you know, the other word for lighting and all that shit. Okay? Wasn't impressed. But if they're speaking to their own, we have to go in on it. We have to look and see, because it's a lot of weird things going on. And people do believe in it wholeheartedly. They do. So let's start with the obvious. And we have to make sure that we don't leave any of it out. So I want you to first just keep the picture in your mind of her on this horse holding this flag. The first thing that I noticed, that many of us notice, is that it's edited. It's cut kind of weird, especially when we're dealing with what we're going through right now in this country and in the time and space. The flag is edited. Why we don't see the stars? That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, If you can recall from your studies, or if you had elders, or if you are in the know, that the first sign of rebelliousness and how people used to speak to each other in different groups and movements, in the mailing of certain informations, they would turn the stamp upside down. Right? Any type of desecration, any type of manipulation, any type of not a true representation of the flag is very, very tasteless and disrespectful to this corporation. So peep that initially, because I'm saying this is her supposed first run in country music. And we know how patriotic the country music audience is. We know that for a fact. Good old Nashville. Good old Grand Ole Opera. Yeah. Good old horse riding. Lasso twirling. Old phase. We know that for a fact. Noose carrying, shotgun toting, cowboy boots with no socks wearing. We know that for a fact. Very patriotic. So I was like, what's really going on with that? Of course, we see the obvious, that it's a white horse. And her white hair is flowing. Yeah. Has the flag in one hand and the rein. Then I noticed the direction of the horse. Okay? So now, when I seen the stars, I'm thinking, well, maybe she's trying to show no allegiance to the corporation of the United States. Or she could be saying that she is not a star coming into this particular genre. Don't view her as a star. Okay? This is her introduction. Like she said, first time she doing, even though she from Texas, the Lone Star State, which again is symbolism in that in itself. Little black gal from Texas. We know how Texas has always felt about being part of the Union. They've been trying to separate for a long time. So it's a lot of things that we are looking at in that space when we're looking at this photo. For the first time in her entire career, nobody is focusing on her look. Nobody is looking and saying, oh, she looks beautiful, she's a dime, or she's holding. No. For some reason, no one is speaking about her in that manner. That is very, very weird. That is very weird. Because we always heard about her looks, her appearance. For some reason, they're not pushing that. Anyway, after that, I looked at her. What do you call these things here? Right? Miss America shit. What is it? The sash? What is they? That thing that goes around, right? That's going around. Greetings, like I'm always live, you know. And I looked at what it said. Cowboy Carter. Yeah, Barbara, thank you. It's a sash, right? I said it right. Sash, right? Cowboy Carter. Pam said it's a ribbon. So I'm thinking, not cowboy nose Carter, not cowboy nose. I'm looking and it says Cowboy Carter, which means she is wanting them to identify her as a Carter. Get everything else out the way. It didn't even say Cowboy Beyonce. It didn't even say Cowgirl Beyonce. Okay? And it definitely didn't say Queen B. All right? You understand that? Oh. There in it is a message in that. There's a message in that. Cowboy Carter into country music with a flag with no stars. Yes, Lady Charles, she's trying to reinvent it. Okay? Cowboy. Not Cowgirl Carter, not Cowgirl Beyonce, not Cowgirl Nose Carter, or Cowgirl B. Cowboy Carter. Now we have to pay attention to if she is going to continue to use Carter only. Okay? Because there might be something attached to Knowles that, you might want to be getting rid of. Tax problems, anything. Because it might not just be reinventing the image. They may be reinventing the entire corporation. Come on now. My married people know what I'm talking about. There's a lot in names, in images, and symbols. Cowgirl Carter. And in that Cowgirl Carter, straddling this horse, and the horse is moving towards the left, facing the left, moving left. Okay? Moving left. And she is front and center towards us, holding a starless flag. Oh, yeah. It gets a little funky. Now, if we don't know anything about horse riding, we wouldn't see the symbol in that. We wouldn't. Because how she's sitting, they call that a side of the horse. A side, like asexual. A side, which means you're sitting on one side of the horse. And we'll get into that a little bit later. A side, not astride, right? She's not on the horse, astride, and taking the photo that way, because then she would be to the left also. Get what I'm saying? Y'all do your research on that. Because when we're looking at the book, William Cooper's book, both horses are facing to the right and up. Okay? That's specific in what he wanted you to understand or to look for, to look into when reading that text. The horses, the mares, were facing right and up. One was on the globe, the up. Right? The other ascending upward into the heavens with wings. It was a winged mare. Then when you really start looking at the book, this individual looked like it's transitioning. You don't know if it's you don't know what gender it is, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. Got you. So Beyonce, whatever they doing, very specific in how this photograph, this artwork is being distributed. Matter of fact, the way it was took. Remember, she's not doing this by herself. They have, a team of people when they doing this. Think tanks. How is this going to be presented? And who is it being presented to? All right? Now, we did some research because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what it meant. So before I even get into, I'm going to be real quick. Before I even get into the white horse, okay? Because we've got to be very specific. It was a white horse and not a pale horse, okay? I want to show you, or let's read what some of the beliefs were about a woman on a horse from way back. And we know the murals, the old face, been doing this. We know for a fact that we had war horses. We know that. Yeah. But Euros were very specific about duties, practices, morals when it come to women. Remember, they believed women were sorceresses, witches, this, that, bad luck on ships, all type of very, very oppressive in how they dealt with their women. Which is why it bugs me out to this day why people still hold on to European values, American values and morals, because they were disgusting when it comes to women and children. They even changed and distorted the biblical text to make sure that women and children, right, were just ostracized and demonized. You dig? Ostracized and demonized from then until whenever this shit burns out. Okay? Now, read this. Because of concerns for a woman's modesty and decency, riding astride was seen as improper, which means legs open, the way we see cowboys ride, the way we see people ride, right? Horse jockeys ride. Didn't want women to do that, okay? Just as a woman showing off the fact that she had two legs by wearing pants was considered improper and unladylike. Unladylike and improper, okay? Long skirts would have made riding astride difficult, plus allowed women the mobility that men enjoyed with riding. So there was a very keen distinction. Riding saddle side, right, allowed women to remain ladylike by keeping those legs modestly covered by a long skirt, keeping those scandalous ankles hidden, and protected their virginity. Now, by her riding the way she was riding, if we're following this, and we know we haven't been, because women been horse jockeys, women been riding, they've been playing polo, all that for the longest. So that was not, or I'm saying maybe they weren't intelligent enough to research to know that specific space. But she was a side, right? Saddles, side saddle. But her legs were open. And they made it so that you see, wasn't no skirt or nothing there. And it wasn't even no chaps. This was some type of elongated pants thing that didn't have and made it appear like that one leg was out. Because there weren't chaps, because the other leg is full. It's a full pant leg. The other leg, which we see, is open. It's open. You dig? And in it being open, we know that they weren't trying to protect her virginity. We know she's a mama. But I'm saying maybe by her riding that way, just the ride, just the positioning, may have been her saying, I'm coming into country music as a virgin in that genre. So I'm sitting this way without the stars, saying that I'm not a star in country music. However, I'm not the most modest individual, because I used to tell y'all that y'all wasn't ready for this jelly. Yeah, y'all ain't ready. I used to say that. So we know we not talking about the most modest image. Because I was drunk on love, in love. Drunk on love and drunk in love on the beach. Okay? Who is the image for? Is it for us or is it for them? Okay? Now listen, this way of sitting, right, aside, it also reduced their mobility and freedom, since riding side saddle also required a second person to hold the horse while she used a mounting block to get on the saddle. Something that we don't see. Okay? I'm also sure there was the mistaken belief that merely riding astride would introduce such ladylike women to sexual pleasure was in there somewhere, hence the it protects virginity beliefs, as was the belief that it would limit what a woman could do on horseback, right? Like when you watch in them old movies with Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, and how they always helped them and showed them, listen what I'm saying. Who was the image for? What is the language? Remember, everything is purposeful in the entertainment industry. They're showing and sending signs to each other and trying to make us appear as if everything is hunky-dory. All right? Look at the picture. Now, people, we all understand that horseback riding isn't the safest and most comfortable thing to do. What are some of the things that can happen? You can get a loss of sensitivity, right? If you're continuously riding a horse, regardless of gender. One of the possible consequences of saddle paresthesia is a complete loss of sensitivity in the intimate area. Those who suffer from such sexual dysfunction, although able to physically perform, may not be able to feel sexual stimulation. So we know she don't ride all the time. So we know that this is a purposeful space. They're doing this with reason and specifics. Okay? Now, what are some of the things that can happen to female riders? The area of a woman's body closest to the saddle, especially if not properly secured by bacterial, static, breathable undergarment, typically contains a multitude of bacteria. According to the Women Health Care Center in Maine, repeated movement your body makes with the saddle can push bacteria into the urethra tube, transporting urine out of your body. Once inside, bacteria travel up, sometimes causing infection that reaches as far as the kidneys. Common signs of the UTIs, urinary tract infections, include blood in urine, cloudy urine, strong urges to urinate frequently, boom, 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 pelvic pain in men and pelvic pain in women and rectal pain in men. So we know for an absolute fact, right? We know for absolute fact that she don't ride all the time. That this is not what this is about. This is something to just introduce her into a different space. She's not riding. He's not riding. They're not promoting riding, even though it says Cowboy Carter on the sash. That this is an alert. This is a sign directed at a specific audience, telling somebody that we're with you. And I'm coming new. I'm not a star. I'm not Beyonce Knowles. I'm not representing the Corporation of America. I'm coming as a virgin to your music scene, to your genre in this music scene. Okay? But we damn sure know she don't ride. No. We know that. Now, when we looking at the book, because this is what people are pushing, especially certain people with a eye that was like, yo, nobody's speaking about this. You're not going to speak about it? That's a pale horse. That's a white horse. Now, we're going to get into the good stuff. Because that's what y'all want. But again, that is a white horse. It's not pale. So we have to be careful of what we throwing out here, because I know what y'all saying. That's the whip. It's ultimate gripper gate. That's a pale horse. And why would that bother you so much? Right? Oh, that's another picture. That's another picture, Charles. No. Okay? Now, that bothers you because we know if we've read the book and then went to research biblical text what a white horse or a pale horse means. Let's go. There is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Right? Yeah, we know that. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. In Christianity, the 4 horsemen who, according to the book of Revelation 6, 1 through 8, appear with the opening of the first 4 of the 7 seals that bring forth the cataclysm of the apocalypse. The first horseman, a conqueror with a bow and crown, rides a white horse, which scholars sometimes interpret to symbolize Christ or the Antichrist. Now, we said early on that she didn't use Knowles. She used Carter, her married name of her husband, who calls himself Jehovah. Made songs titled Lucifer and all these other things. Okay? The first horseman, let's repeat, the first horseman, a conqueror with a bow and crown, rides a white horse, which scholars sometimes interpret to symbolize Christ or the Antichrist. Now, there's no crown, but people recognize her as Queen Bee. So when you associate Queen Bee, you're looking for a crown, but she's not on the throne. She's on a horse. So what is always on a cowboy's head or a cowgirl's head as a crown? A cowboy hat. You know, either the 10 gallons or the funky ones, a cowboy hat. That's considered a crown. Anything you put on your head is your crown. So she doesn't have a crown as Queen Bee because she's shifted into Carter, and her crown is now the cowboy hat. Okay, the second horseman is given a great sword and rides a red horse, symbolizing war and bloodshed. The third carries a balanced scale, rides a black horse, and symbolizes famine. And the fourth horseman rides a pale horse and is identified as death. Now, hey, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. Now, when you go through it, these writers have been interpreted as Christ himself conquering the earth, but they are more usually seen as personifications of war, famine, plague, and death. What are we seeing in Haiti? War, famine, plague, and death. What are we seeing in Palestine? War, famine, plague, and death. What are we seeing in the Ukraine? War, famine, plague, and death. Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Okay? Why? Out of all these years, when she take a photo like that? Come on now. Come on now. What are we doing? Is it not right here? It's in front of your eyes. Whether we believe it or not, whether it's true or not, whether it's actual fact or not, whether it has power or not. Come on now. That's what, this is what, why? Why not a strong black horse? Why not a mare? Why not get jiggy and have a tan horse with dark brown spots and you have on the tan, get up? Why specifically white and in that position? Listen, hey. Revelation 6:2 says, and I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. She said she wanted to get into country music because she hasn't been there. She said in the commercial, she wanted to, what? Crash the internet. That commercial is consistently in rotation. Crashing the internet means conquering the internet. Notice. Now notice Matthew 24:4-5. Matthew. Who is Matthew to her? Matthew knows. Matthew's her daddy. 24:4-5, where Jesus predicts that the many false prophets will come and proclaim to be Christ or claim to come in his name. But Jesus warns, take heed that no man deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying I am Christ, and will deceive you. When they've been putting this Queen Bee name, and we know that there is no such title when it comes to people who are of former slaves, former enslaved people, that queen and kings usually are bloodlines, especially when it comes to the Euros, the false claim that she is a queen over anything. Take heed to it. It's in your face. This is what it is when it comes to that. Okay? So we're going to leave it right there. Listen, I'm not going to get crazy and deep because, again, I'm a soldier. None of that shit has no power over me. But I'm talking to you to let you know, whoa, I don't know why nobody else is mentioning it or speaking it. I haven't seen it nowhere. You get a little buzz here and there. They're not comparing the obvious. Now, because I ain't got much time. I got things to do, but we gonna get into Jimmy Kimmel and the Gripper Gate that I watched the other night and sat quietly and said, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to leave him alone. But I had to. I couldn't do it. I couldn't hold it. Okay? Jimmy Kimmel and the Gripper Gate. First of all, if you don't know Jimmy Kimmel the way I know him, I've been watching Jimmy Kimmel since The Man Show. 1999, because I was in the mountains and we really didn't have anything else but Comedy Central and BET and all that. So I was watching The Man Show, which was a very, very racy Euro good guy show with beer and nude or partially nude white women. They called them the Juggies. It was very, very hyper masculine. Okay? Very chauvinistic. And funny in a sense, especially when you're behind the wall. So we would watch it, laugh and giggle. Watched it. And then all of a sudden it gets canceled. And then all of a sudden I hear that he's going to have a late night talk show. And I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel? The t-shirt wearing dude? This little dusty dude? Really? They're going to give him a late night show? And then he just transformed. I was like, yo, hold up. He's not the prototype for late night show, but he gave it to him. And it worked. And because it worked, I was knowing at that time that anybody they want to make a star, they can make him that. Just follow the program. Do what you need to do. However, his partner, Adam Carolla, didn't come with him. He didn't sign up for Grippergate, but Jimmy did. And at first it was funny. It was all right. His monologues was funny. He was doing his thing. Then all of a sudden he got political and became a biatch for the Democratic Party and just wouldn't stop. And then, of course, the pandemic came and he got worse. And then he became just the ultimate 45 hater, the ultimate Trump hater. And then he just got corny because every night for years, he just would not remove himself from the Trump jokes that weren't funny. This monologue just became about Trump. And I didn't get it, so I stopped watching. Everything was Trump this, Trump that, Trump. And then something very weird happened. He wasn't there for months at a time. And we understand that he had an ill child. However, on his return and when he came back, they would always show repeats. And I'm like, yo, hold on. I'm of a certain age. I know for a fact late night TV was prided on the host always being there. Never seen Johnny Carson take that much time off. I never seen Johnny Carson do reruns. Something is weird here. There's a mental conditioning going on with that man. He's part of this bigger machine, this propaganda, and they're using him as a tool with this ultra-democratic bullshit. Okay? However, I'm not going to talk about it. I want to talk specifically about how it affects us in the hip-hop community because he had... Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent M, Shady Records on there. Yeah, so I wanted to see, we don't hear Dre too much. Right? We don't hear Dre too much. So I wanted to hear what he had to say. Again, open a monologue. Terrible. But there was a skit. So I'm watching the skit. And you can see, of course, it's going to be something to do with a doctor, an emergency room. Yeah. Okay, we could say that it's a take on any one of Dre's videos where he's operating because, again, it's the doctor. He operates in the studio. He operates on MCs and rappers and builds them on some $6 Million Man type shit. Dre's the doctor. However, this one was very weird because from the onset, from the beginning, the nurse, attending nurse, points down, and without hesitation, Dre lifts up the sheet to look directly at Jimmy Kimmel's money and says, "This man has no penis." I'm like, hold up, whoa, pause. Where we going at with this? And it got worse. He's looking and looking now. What was supposedly the hurt patient looks up and says, "Wait, I have a penis?" And then Dre calls over his attending doctor. "Dr. Broadus, come look at this." And Snoop, without hesitation, Snoop looks. And now they're looking at him and examining that there's supposedly no penis. Hold up. Now there's an issue. Now they're looking and consistently looking under the sheet. I don't find this funny, so I'm still watching. And they got the laugh tracks and it's supposed to be funny, so they call over Dr. Jackson. And here comes 50 Cent, right? Because now when Dre and Snoop were looking, Snoop picks up the magnifying glass to look. Gives it to Dre. Dre looking through the magnifying glass. They looking at what's going on here? What kind of doctors are y'all? What is going on? Now, they call Dr. Jackson. Here comes 50 with the telescope looking. This is 2 or 3 minutes of people looking under the sheet at this man supposedly lost penis, or supposed to be so tiny. So now, Drake gets to operate. Gets the forceps and all that and getting instructions from his attending doctors. Squeeze it, pull it, squeeze it, pull it. And he's supposed to pick out what is supposed to be this man's genitalia. And it's like a little piece of something. And Snoop said, oh, it looked like chewing gum. What? And now Jimmy's like, hold up. I came here for colonoscopy. What's going on here? So I'm like, yo, this shit is major pause. Like, what are we doing? This is not funny at all. And then, of course, they get him high, right? Instead of them giving him anesthesia, he got smoke. They turn the music up, End of this, that, and the third. They move, and upon leaving, right before it was supposed to go off, you know they got the coming of the next show, as usual. M show is coming, EM instead of ER, right? M. Okay? And M says something like, we only got one shot. And 50 walks by and say, one shot, I got shot 9 times. And then M says something to the fact of, that's a weird flex, but, and that's the end of the skit. Now I read the comments online on YouTube. People think it's hilarious. Oh, it's funny. Ha, ha, ha. M is so hilarious. These guys can act. And I'm like, where? These people are weird. In this day and age, that shit was nowhere near funny at all. But that was the skit. First thing I thought of, why are these black men looking at this Euro? Regardless of what it's supposed to be, regardless of how it ended up, all of these dudes is grippigating, looking up in this man's seat. First time I ever heard of a colonoscopy, and I've had it with all these attending doctors. Okay? Shit just wasn't a funny skit. However, in 1 million views on YouTube with over 3,000 comments, people thought it was hilarious. And I'm wondering, damn, how many of these people are black men? Because Dr. Dre is 59. He should be getting colonoscopies on a regular. Snoop is 52. M is 51. And Curtis Jackson is 48. Not to mention Jimmy Kimmel is 56. What? Again, I told y'all, over middle-aged men think it's funny to play penis jokes on national TV. I'm confused. But it went through. It went through. Okay? But M wasn't in the operating room. They made sure to section him off another part of the skit, which was only about 6 seconds. Okay? Which was only about 6 seconds. And he didn't have to look under the sheet. So I made note of that. in this skit, the Euro doesn't look at the Euro. The old Faye don't have to look at the old Faye. Okay. Fast track to the interview. So now they call Dr. Dre out, Dre coming out. The first thing Jimmy Kimmel says after they embrace and he sit down is, look at you. You really are 6'1", 225 of pure chocolate. Pause. And Dre was like, yo, hold up. I ain't here for that. Come on, son. And Giggy laughed it off. I'm like, yo, where we going at, Jimmy Kimmel? You did a skit about not having a penis, a skit about a colonoscopy, men looking in men's seat and all this weirdness, and you continuing. You continuing with Grippergate saying, you sure are 6'1", 225 of pure chocolate. What? Okay. So now, Dre had to say, hold on. A disclaimer, that skit was Jimmy's idea. I'm gonna let y'all know that. Now, in saying that, that means that even if it is his idea, even if the producers of the show, if it's their idea, you got four people who are known for gangster rap, to agree to it? Dre, Snoop, 50, M? Even if it's Jimmy's idea, all that susness. Now, again, I stomached it because I'm telling you, Jimmy Kimmel is a biatch for the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, it's sickening how they stole his funny from him. He's not funny no more. Definitely different from the Man Show. But by the time 50 comes out, because Snoop came out, you know, they had a little interview, the story and all that. When 50 came out, and they sitting there, by the time this segment is over, at the end of the segment, Jimmy's like, hey, man, all four of us, man, we need to hang out more. Maybe we should go camping, the four of us. Just like a jolly old fan. Maybe we should go camping. And in that instant, 50 said, hold on. You made us do skits about your penis. I don't know what this does to my image. Knowing that if people catch it and speak on it, come on. What? Yeah. You knew it was pause worthy. You knew it was sus. Y'all know that. But you did it to, again, promote Snoop's new album with Dre. Snoop hasn't done an album with Dre in 30 years. And the first album, which was titled Doggy Style, Dre said this specifically. Yeah, we worked on Snoop's album, and this album is going to be titled Missionary. And Snoop said, yeah, missionary. Jimmy Kimmel knows what missionary is. He been doing missionary for 30 years. Like, the innuendos and all this sus and pause-worthy talk, I'm like, missionary? So who named Doggy Style Doggy Style? Now that we know about Grippergate and everything, we gotta wonder. So you go from Doggy Style to missionary? To doing skits like that on ABC, Disney's network, with all of the trafficking that is being alleged in Disneyland and Disney World. We playing these jokes as 50-something-year-old men? Come on, man. Come on, man. And of course, the Grand Master was in the audience. Yeah, Jimmy Iovine right there made sure that they promoted the new gin and juice drink. So in the mix of all this sus behavior, okay? In the mix of all this sus behavior, we make sure we promote drinks and albums to keep it going. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we have to be very sharp in class when we're looking at images, symbols, hidden meanings, forthright statements. Yeah, a lot of it's not hidden. Okay? All right? Understand it. There is a war going on outside. No man is safe from. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. And in guarding your mind, make sure you come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Fund the war effort. It's real in this battlefield. It's cold when you alone, lone soldier, holding it down. Okay? Yeah. Lone soldiers are we. All right? And think I'm playing? Do the research on your own. It's a funny, funny business. Mind you, the name of the skit was Dre's Anatomy, a take on Grey's Anatomy. But we should never, ever forget, in Dre's Anatomy, Tupac said, check your anatomy, fruity as this Alizé. Peace.